Welcome back, dear listener. Close your eyes, take a slow breath, and let us drift into the distant past, to a time when gods, asuras, sages, and destinies were woven together. Tonight, we listen to a tale of trust, of longing, and of sacrifice. The story of Kacha and Devayani. Long ago, the world was divided between the Devas, the celestial gods, and the Asuras, the powerful, determined beings who stood against them. Victory between the two was never certain, until the Asuras found their secret weapon. Shukracharya, the sage of immense wisdom and master of the forbidden art, Brihaspati, the mantra that could bring the dead back to life. With Shukracharya by their side, the Asuras no longer feared death. One by one, their warriors would fall in battle, only to rise again, summoned back by the sacred chant. The gods grew desperate. How could they fight those who refused to stay dead? In their desperation, the gods turned to Kacha. Young, wise, and virtuous, Kacha carried a quiet strength. He was the son of Brihaspati, the revered guru of the Devas. If anyone could gain the trust of Shukracharya and learn the sacred secret of Brihaspati, it was him. But this would be no ordinary task. The Asura Guru was known to be cautious, even guarded against the Devas. So, the gods gently advised Kacha, serve Devayani with the same sincerity you offer to Shukracharya, for she was no ordinary child. Devayani was deeply cherished by her father. Her joys, her words, her feelings, Shukracharya listened to them all. If she believed in Kacha's goodness, her voice would carry weight in her father's heart. Thus, with calm resolve, Kacha bowed his head and set forth towards the land of the Asuras, carrying a mission wrapped not only in wisdom and duty, but in patience, humility, and the quiet hope that hearts could be won with truth. He walked quietly to the peaceful hermitage of Shukracharya, nestled beside a forest where birds sang and the wind carried the scent of sandalwood. He bowed low before the sage. "O revered one, I am Kacha, grandson of Angirasa, son of Brihaspati. I seek to serve you as your disciple." Shukracharya looked into the boy's eyes, clear, steady, and filled with humility. And because he respected Brihaspati, he accepted the boy with open arms. But there was another pair of eyes watching silently from behind the flowering vines. Eyes that sparked like moonlight. Devayani, daughter of the great sage. She saw Kacha's respectful demeanor, the way he quietly served her father, fetching water, preparing firewood, feeding the cows, chanting softly during rituals. With each passing day, her heart softened. He never once looked upon her with desire, only with kindness. And in that gentle indifference, Devayani felt herself drawn closer to him. She found excuses to speak with him, to hear his laughter, to walk beside him when he took the cows to graze. A quiet love blossomed in the stillness of the ashram. But far away, in the darkened halls of the asuras, there was unrest. They had noticed, they had seen how the boy moved freely in the Guru's home, how Shukracharya smiled more these days, and how Devayani lingered near him like a shadow of spring. Do you not see it? One asura whispered. He will learn the mantra, and when he returns to the gods, another growled. He will revive every one of their dead soldiers. Panic spread. The gods would become immortal too. The balance would be broken. They had to stop it, and they had to do it before it was too late. One evening, as the sky turned gold and birds flew home, Kacha led the cows into the forest, humming to himself. It was then that the asuras struck. They circled him, snarling like wolves. Without a sound, they attacked. And soon, the forest floor was still. They destroyed his body and fed it to wild jackals, making sure no trace remained. Back at the ashram, the cows returned, but Kacha did not. Devayani noticed immediately. Her heart pounded. She searched the meadows, the riverside, called out into the trees, but no answer came. Tears in her eyes, she ran to her father. Father, something is wrong. Kacha is missing. Shukracharya closed his eyes. His mind soared beyond space, and he saw the truth. Kacha was dead, destroyed in the cruelest way. His daughter's anguish pulled at his heart, and so he raised his hands, and with the sacred chant, he brought Kacha back to life. From the belly of jackals, Kacha emerged, whole again, gasping, dazed. Devayani wept with joy, embracing him. But the asuras watched again. They failed, and now they were angrier. This time, they would make sure the sage could not bring him back. So, when Kacha again walked into the woods, they pounced, killed him, burned his body to ash, and then they dissolved the ash into wine. They took it back to Shukracharya, presenting it as a gift. The sage, unaware, accepted. That evening, when Kacha once again did not return, Devayani trembled in panic. She ran to her father, pleading. Shukracharya saw the truth again. His stomach twisted. His own body now contained the ashes of the boy. His voice broke. Devayani, I have done something terrible. She fell to her knees. Bring him back, father, please. Shukracharya sighed, knowing what he must do. And so, he whispered the mantra once more. But this time, inside his body, Kacha heard it. He learned the secret from within. And then, he tore through the sage's body, returning to life, but at the cost of his guru's death. Before he could speak, Kacha uttered the same chant and brought Shukracharya back to life. The asuras had failed. The boy had learned the secret, but he had also proven his loyalty, for he did not abandon his guru even when he had the power to. Devayani looked at Kacha with even more admiration now. She had loved him before, for his calm voice, his gentle nature, his quiet strength. But now, that love had deepened. He had braved death not once, but twice, just to serve her father. To her, he was no longer just a kind soul. He was a hero, a protector, someone divine. One evening, under the soft glow of twilight, she spoke her heart. "Kacha," she said, her eyes searching his, "you're not just any man. You're brave, wise, and you're mine." Kacha remained silent, unsure of how to respond. She smiled, proud and certain. "You're lucky, she said gently, "that I have chosen to love you. There are many who wish for my affection, but it is you that I have given my heart to." She came closer and added, "We would make such a perfect pair. I would bring you joy like no other. I would give you a life filled with comfort, love, and happiness. Stay here. Marry me. This is your destiny." But Kacha's heart was steady. He looked at her with gentle honesty, choosing his words with care. "Devayani," he said softly, "you're noble, kind, and beautiful. I'm honored by your affection." He bowed his head slightly, showing his humility. "But I'm not the one destined for you. This union would not be right." Devayani frowned, confused and hurt. "Not right?" she repeated, her voice tightening. "How can it not be right?" Her tone shifted, now layered with pride and longing. "Can you not see it, Kacha? The gods themselves sent you here. You rose from death just for me. I nursed you, waited for you, prayed for you." She stepped closer, voice trembling. "You were meant for me. I feel it in my soul. We would make a life the heavens would envy." She smiled through her pain. "I would give you joy, Kacha. A world of peace, of love, of happiness. What more could you ever want?" But Kacha remained quiet, his eyes calm and filled with compassion. When he spoke again, his voice was lower, more personal. "Devayani, I do not reject your love to hurt you. You are worthy of all that you dream." He hesitated, then looked into her eyes. "But your father, your revered father, I have served him with all my heart. To me, he is like my own guru, my father." He paused, letting the words sink in. "And you? You are his beloved daughter. In Dharma, that makes you like a sister to me." Devayani stepped back as though struck. "Her sister?" she whispered, her voice breaking. Her heart, once soaring, now fell to the ground. "How can you say that? After all this, After all I've done, after all we've been through? She couldn't believe it. The man she loved had chosen duty over desire. Devayani's world collapsed in a heartbeat. She had never heard a refusal before, never imagined she could be rejected. Her admiration turned to pain. Her pain turned to anger. With eyes burning, she shouted, "Then may you never use the knowledge you gained from my father." Kacha stood still, calm, peaceful, like a flame that did not waver. He replied, "Then so be it. But may no Brahman ever marry you, for it is wrong to curse one who has done only his duty." And thus, two curses were born, sealed not with rage but sorrow. Kacha could never use the Mrita Sanjeevani mantra for himself, and Devayani, though born a Brahmin and admired by many, would never be wed by a Brahmin hand. But Kacha was not bitter. He did not carry resentment. He had come for a purpose, and he had fulfilled it. He returned to the heavens not to rule or seek glory, but to pass the sacred knowledge to his father Brihaspati, so the Devas who had fallen in battle could rise again. For Kacha had never sought power for himself. He was a son, a student, a messenger of Dharma, and in doing his duty, he lit the path for the gods to stand once more. And now, dear listener, let your breath grow softer. Let your thoughts drift like clouds across a quiet sky. As the stars shimmer above you and the earth holds you gently in its hush, remember the story of Kacha and Devayani, a tale where love met duty, where desire bowed to Dharma, and where hearts learn to let go even when it hurt. Sleep now in the warmth of that wisdom. Good night, and may peace be your companion.